We call it the lifeblood of our species. It flows through copper veins and fiber optic nerves, wrapped around our planet like a second skin. Electricity. It is the invisible God we worship every second of every day. It keeps us warm. It keeps us fed. It keeps us connected. We have forgotten what the world looks like without it. We have forgotten that we are, at our core, afraid of the dark. But what if the hum stopped? Not for an hour, not for a day, but forever.
It doesn't happen with a bang. There is no nuclear flash, no asteroid impact. It happens with a click. The grid fails. A cascade failure of unimaginable scale. Power stations spin down. The flow of electrons halts. In the first 60 seconds, the confusion is mild. You look up from your phone. You flip a light switch. Nothing. You assume it's a fuse. You assume it's the neighborhood. But outside, the street lights are dead. The hum of the refrigerator ceases. Modern silence is terrifying. We are so used to the background noise of machinery that its absence feels like physical pressure on the ears. At 30,000 feet, the horror begins instantly. Modern aircraft rely on complex electronics. Without electrical systems, without communication towers to guide them, the sky becomes a graveyard. But on the ground, the first emotion isn't fear, it's annoyance.
What happened?
We wait. We wait for the authorities. We wait for the lights to flicker back on.
It's dead!
We don't know yet that they never will.
Mayday! Mayday!
The sun sets, and true darkness returns to humanity. For the generation born into the digital age, this is a shock to the system. No internet, no GPS, no social media to confirm that others are experiencing the same thing. The psychological toll is immediate. We are addicted to information, and suddenly, we are blind. Hospitals are the first battlegrounds. Backup generators kick in, roaring to life, but they are finite. They have fuel for 24 hours, maybe 48. Doctors are forced to make impossible choices. Who stays on the ventilator? Who gets the last of the battery power? In the apartments and suburbs, the temperature begins to drift. Without HVAC systems, our glass and steel towers become greenhouses or iceboxes, depending on the season. Candles are lit. Flashlights beam through windows. The world shrinks down to the size of a single room. We huddle together, listening to the sirens wail until their batteries, too, begin to die.
By day 3, the annoyance has turned to panic. We often forget that electricity doesn't just power our lights, it moves our water. Without electric pumps, water towers empty out. The pressure drops to zero. The taps run dry. Thirst is a primal motivator. It overrides logic. It overrides morality. Supermarkets are stripped bare within hours, but not for gadgets or money. Cash registers don't work, and credit cards are useless pieces of plastic. The new currency is bottled water and canned goods. The veneer of civilization is incredibly thin. It is held together by the promise of order. When the police cannot communicate, when the news cannot broadcast, that promise is broken. Sanitation systems fail. Without water to flush waste, our cities begin to smell. The stench of sewage and uncollected garbage begins to rise, signaling the return of humanity's oldest enemies: cholera, dysentery, disease.
1 month. The modern world has officially ended. The cities, once the jewels of human achievement, are now death traps. Without elevators, skyscrapers are uninhabitable cliffs. Without trucks to transport food, the urban centers starve. This is the Great Migration. Millions leave the cities, walking blindly into the countryside, searching for farms, for water, for something real. But the countryside cannot support millions. Nuclear power plants, sensing the grid failure, have automatically shut down. When that diesel runs out, the meltdowns begin. Invisible clouds of radiation drift across continents, silent and deadly, closing off vast zones of the planet forever. Those who survive learn the old ways fast, or they die. Fire, once a decorative element in our homes, becomes our only source of heat, light, and cooking. We stare into the flames, just as our ancestors did 10,000 years ago. The screen is gone. The fire is the only channel left to watch.
One year later, the population is a fraction of what it was. The weak, the dependent, and the unlucky are gone. The silence is no longer terrifying. It is the new normal. The earth has begun to heal. Without the constant roar of industry, the air is clean. The smog has lifted. For the first time in a century, a child born in a former metropolis can look up and see the stars in all their glory. We have become smaller. Our world ends at the distance we can walk in a day. We tell
It's all right.
stories.
Take it.
We don't text them.
Thank
We
you.
speak them. We look each other in the eye. The isolation of the digital age has been replaced by the forced intimacy of the tribe.
We built a world of light to banish the dark. We built a world of noise to banish the silence. But when the lights went out, we
How much
found
food do
something
we
else
have
in
left?
the dark. We found ourselves. And
Enough for
perhaps,
tomorrow,
just perhaps,
maybe the next
we
day
were
if
never
we
meant
stretch
to
it.
have this much power in the first place.